Hello and welcome to the Bronco Exchange. I'm your host, Dr. Shanessa Fenner, and today we're going to record part 2 with Mrs. Erica Fenner-McAdoo. Welcome back, Ms. McAdoo.
Thank you.
All right. So, Ms. McAdoo, let's talk a little bit about your role at Howard Hall Elementary School. From my understanding, you have both a boys and a girls group.
Yes.
So tell me about those groups.
Well, this year I started, it's called the McAdoo's Ladies and Gentlemen of Excellence.
Okay. Now, do you meet with both of them at the same time, or do you have a separate girls group, separate boys, or you do both of them at the same time?
We're currently doing both at the same time.
Okay.
My plan for next year is to separate them.
Okay.
I did start the group a little late this year. I wanted to learn my students first and get to know them. Being that this was my first year there. And so I do have boys and girls together.
Okay.
And so we meet after school 1 day a week, and we just do fun things. We talk about integrity, being kind, you know, just being a good person, and then we do fun things as well. Bricks for Kids came in. I'll have guest speakers come in, and we're going to do a service project as well.
Oh, good. That's wonderful.
So it's a nice program. They're really good kids. Similar to the group that I had at Walker Spivey.
Okay.
I always like to mentor kids myself because I want the kids to know me and I want to know them. So it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. You know, I don't want to be a principal who they say, who is the principal? I don't know who the principal is. You know, I like working one-on-one with the students.
And when you talk with them, what are some of the things that you talk with them about? Are you talking to them about life, about college? I know you said about integrity. What are some of the things you speak with them about?
Yes, about college. We talk about college a lot. We actually have College Day every fourth Friday as well, where our students learn about college, kindergarten through fifth grade. And our teachers give presentations, and then in the end, our fifth graders give presentations about what college they're interested in. But yes, we talk about college and what it takes to be successful in life.
Well, that's good, that's good. Okay, all right. So what is your view on mobile learning?
I think that mobile learning is awesome. It's needed, it's relevant, it's the way of the world. Technology, it is. I mean, we're teaching students to, I mean, we don't know what job they'll have in the future. It could be a job that doesn't even exist right now. And most likely it's going to have something to do with technology. So teaching the kids about coding and the maker spaces and just having those Chromebooks and laptops and iPads available for them to use is ultra important. The one thing I do feel strong about is that they'll never replace a teacher, though.
Oh, of course not.
I think the teacher is the one most important piece in a child's life. I know some people say, oh, you know, technology is going to take away so many jobs, but I don't think it will ever replace sound teaching.
And speaking of mobile learning, I think it's wonderful, Erica, but there are a few skills that I feel like our babies need to know. Like, for example, when I go to the grocery store and I hand the cashier, who's a young person, some change, and I may, you know, decide to give, you know, pull out a few coins to hand them as well. It just throws them totally off. Okay. Things like teaching the babies how to count back change. Things like, you know, you look at your phone and, you know, you have that digital time.
Yes.
There are babies who don't know how to read an analog clock.
That's right.
You know, those are the kinds of things that bother me. You know, so I mean, those are the skills that they still need to know.
That's right.
You know, because that computer or that cash register, I mean, when the lights go out and you have to count some change back, you know, how do you do it then?
How do you do it? That's right.
So I love mobile learning, but I think basic skills like I said, learning how to, you know, read an analog clock instead of a digital clock, and learning how to count back change, you know, those are the things that are very important.
Huge, huge. That's right.
Okay. Now, what motivates you as a leader?
Well, students.
Okay.
I mean, I just have a passion for children. It motivates me to come to work and make sure that they're happy, that there is a classroom where they thrive in, where teachers are happy and children are happy. And then when I see growth in them, and I know I was a part of that, that gives me great pleasure, and it motivates me to do more. It motivates me to do more. Also, when I see my teachers grow, because those are the kind of conversations we have, you know. When a teacher tells me, well, I'm really good at this, so this is what I want to keep doing. And I say, nah, well, if you're really good at that, you're naturally going to keep doing well there. Let's try this thing that you kind of brush off, you know. And then I challenge them to do that and be better. And then I see them grow. That motivates me to continue to be, you know, a strong leader in that way.
Speaking of a strong leader, what kinds of characteristics do you think a strong leader should encompass?
Integrity. Integrity is huge. You have to trust your leader. You have to know that they're going to do the right thing, because sometimes they're going to make a decision that affects you. And you have to know that they're going to do it in a professional way. I think you have to be relationship oriented, because at the end of the day, everything falls on relationships. Oh, yes. Everything falls back to relationships, everything. And so I feel that, you know, you have to be a person who listens, who cares, who takes time with people, who wants to get to know people. And just being strong, you know. You know, there's so many reasons to crumble. Oh, yes. And some people do. But as a leader, you can't do that. You have to be strong, and you always have to have a vision.
Yes. And you always have to have someone that you can talk to as well, and relate and can understand what you're going through as well. Yes. You know, that's another thing too. You have to have someone where you can vent and really trust and confide in as well.
That's right. Trust is huge.
Exactly. You talked about relationships earlier, and of course we talk with our teachers all the time about building relationships with our babies. You know, when a student knows that a teacher cares and really loves them, they'll do anything for them.
Yes,
they'll get that level 5 on that end of grade test. They will, you know, move mountains. So relationships are very, very key. Okay. So who is your favorite author in the field of school leadership, and why?
Well, I think I have several.
Okay, talk about them.
But I really appreciate the work that Carol Ann Tomlinson has done around differentiated instruction. Okay. I like her work because I believe in differentiated instruction, and I think it goes back to every child is gifted. They just unwrap their packages at different times, because children need things in a different way, at a different pace sometimes, and it takes that teacher to find out what's going to work for that child, for them to learn and show their capabilities, because they all have those capabilities. So I appreciate her work in helping me understand what it takes to make children successful. We've also, George Kiros with the innovative mindset.
Innovative mindset, yes.
That's good work, and you know, that kind of inspired me too, doing the Parent University. You know, kind of doing things differently, doing things out of the box. But my favorite publication is EL, Educational Leadership. Okay. I subscribe to that, so I receive the magazines and the books, and there are various authors there. Okay. Research-based, teaching and learning articles that help keep me abreast of what's going on.
Okay. Now, Erica, if you could list 3 things that a child needs, of course we could list 20, 25, 30,
yes.
You know, write a little mini abstract on it. What are the 3 things that you feel that a child needs? Those 3 main things.
I would say environment.
Okay. What kind of environment?
The environment is so important because it has to be supportive. Okay. it has to, they have to feel safe at home and in school.
Okay.
They have to have, all the proper necessities, and I've worked in schools where children didn't have that. And so that's why that comes to mind. Even before they come to school to be successful, they need to have that environment, that stability at home, before they can truly come to school and focus. The other thing is a good education. This is almost like the 3 E's. A good education. A sound teacher. I feel like every child should have that. And that's why I like to mentor our teachers and make sure they have what they need. Novice teachers, all teachers, just to make sure that they're doing a great job for children, because every child should have a quality education. And then an example, because they could have those other things, but if there's no one showing them the way or leading them or believing in them, I think every child should have someone that they can talk to. They might not feel comfortable talking with their parents. Every child should have a face. They're not a number. And every child should have a mentor, someone that they could talk to and tell them, I believe in you and you can do this. And if you want to go to college, you can do it. Even if you're the first in your family, yes, you can. And just like a cheerleader. I think those 3 things are key.
Exactly. And what comes to mind when you said that, Erica, I think about our young black males. And I think about how those positive male role models are always needed for them.
Yes.
They need to see a man get up in the morning and get ready and shave and put on his suit and go to work.
That's right.
A legal job.
Right.
And they need to see these things, So those are the kinds of things that come to mind when you talk about that example. Because I know it's very key for our young black males especially.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what kind of legacy would you like to leave behind?
Well, I guess just a legacy of accomplishment and of excellence. I mean, if we're going to do this thing, we need to do it right. And we need to leave a lasting impression on people, not just on the kids, on the parents, on the community. I want people to be proud to say that they worked with me. I worked with Ms. McAdoo, and during that time, we did this. And whatever that thing was, it mattered. It made a difference. I always tell people, we're in this together, and I always say, you're my legacy. Whoever I work with, my assistant principal, she's my legacy. My front office staff, who I love dearly, they're my legacy. They are the ones who will say, well, say whatever about Miss McAdoo, or the things that Miss McAdoo did, or the way she thought, or, the way she interacted with people. And I just always want that to be positive and of accomplishment.
Okay. Let's say someone's watching right now who really wants to be a principal. What kind of advice would you give that person right now about becoming a principal?
Well, I would tell them to strap up. It's very rewarding. It is. But you'd have to get ready to be versatile, to be flexible.
Have thick skin.
Thick skin, thicker than ever. Thicker than ever. And that's something I struggled with in the beginning, But as long as you're making decisions that are in the best interest of children, that you're being fair and honest, there's nothing else you can do. Yeah, but you definitely have to have thick skin.
Oh, yes, because you can't please everybody, and everything that is said is not always going to be nice.
That's
and
right.
That's fine.
That's right. That's right. And just be ready to know that people are watching you at all times.
Oh, yes, always.
At Walmart on Saturday, wherever you go, people are watching you,
Always.
So you always have to operate in a manner that represents your school.
Exactly. Well, Ms. McAdoo, I wish you loads of success at Howard Hall Elementary and in all of your endeavors.
You too.
I thank you so much. And thank you,
so
viewing
much.
audience, for watching the Bronco Exchange. I'm Dr. Shanessa Fenner, and whatever you are, be a good one.
So very much hypnotized, familiar stranger, stranger. Wait, hold up, don't run, I don't bind me, a stranger. Got me so very much hypnotized, but now you're stranger, stranger.